Things looking crazy, a storm on the horizon, the pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. We're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road. Emergency Management Associates here, guys. We want to welcome everybody here to our show tonight. We appreciate you all being here, guys. Thank you all very much for being here. It's a pleasure to be with you as well. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. God bless you for being here. Appreciate it. This is Ron Tyler. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. North Carolina, guys, it is 69 degrees here today. 69 degrees and blue skies, almost hardly a cloud in the skies. It's really nice. It's not hot. It's perfect, in fact. Okay. Now, yes, we had some gremlins to start out this program, but hopefully got it ironed out here. I hope we don't have any more gremlins, audio-wise or anything else, because we have a lot of things to talk about tonight. First, we're going to talk about earthquakes worldwide. We've had some very strong earthquakes during the past 24 hours we need to talk about it. I'm good. Buffering terribly. I'm sorry. Let me check something real quick here. Well, it's not on our side. We have perfect signal here. We have no problems with our CPU. We have no problems with our broadcast software here. So if you're getting buffer, it's from that doggone gremlin from YouTube. Okay. I'm very sorry about that. Okay. I'm very, very sorry about that. First thing I'm going to do is take down our EMA banner here. I'm going to take down our webcam. We'll talk to you throughout this whole process today. Now, over here off the southeast coast of Kamchatka Peninsula, this is a completely different story here. Okay, we have earthquakes, aftershocks of a major 8.8, 9.4 earthquake about a month ago. Okay, aftershocks still. You see 2 earthquakes here that just happened, literally within the last 20 minutes. Okay, this one is a 4.6 moderate earthquake. This is 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. This earthquake is a 5.0 large earthquake. 5.0 large earthquake. This is actually 14 and a half miles deep. Okay. This earthquake right here is a 4.5 earthquake, moderate earthquake. Also 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. This earthquake right near the coast here. This is 72 miles south of Viluchnik, Russia, Kamchatka Peninsula. Okay, 46, or excuse me, not 46, 4.6 moderate earthquake here. So we have 3 4s and 1 5.0 here off of Kamchatka Peninsula. Let's back out here. Okay, USGS is not showing us any earthquakes in Japan, which is a false lead here. We go over here into the Philippines. There are earthquakes here in the Philippines. They're only talking about 2 right here. These are 2 earthquakes south of Mindanao, Philippines. Mindanao, Philippines is the largest island, the southernmost island of the Philippines. This earthquake is a large 5.0. This is 23 miles south-southwest of Sarangani, Philippines. Okay, this did not hit an island, but this is a large earthquake. Okay, this is out in the ocean here. This is out in the ocean. Okay, this is Sarangani, Philippines here. Okay, there are people who live here. There are villages here. Now, they may have felt some kind of earthquake here, but I do not think that this earthquake was close enough to cause any major damage. This was a 5.0 earthquake, 23 miles south-southwest of Sarangani, Philippines, but the ocean waters absorbed much of the shockwaves of this quake. Further to the northeast here, this is a 4.7 here, also 34 miles northeast of Sarangani, Philippines. Okay, 4.7 out in the ocean. Nobody felt this earthquake either. Okay, now let's back out of this. Okay, down here in south central Indonesia, this is a 4.3 moderate earthquake here, 110 miles north of Limassol, Timor-Leste, Indonesia, out in the Banda Sea. This is a moderate earthquake, but nobody felt it because it was out in the Banda Sea and the ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. Further to the northeast here, this is also 4.3 earthquake. Okay, 4.3 earthquake. This is 220 miles deep. This is a semi-deep quake. Okay, 4.3 moderate earthquake. Out in the Banda Sea, guys, this was also absorbed by the ocean waters absorbed the shockwaves of this quake as well. Okay, now this, let me do some checking here. Hold on a second. Okay. As I said, this was a 4.3 moderate earthquake. This is actually 354 kilometers deep. Again, this is a semi-deep quake, moderately deep quake. I do not think this earthquake will be responsible for a much larger shallower quake. Okay, this was a moderately deep earthquake, but not deep enough to cause a larger, shallower quake. Okay, let's continue over here into Papua Indonesia here. Okay, this was a large, strong quake. Not just a large, but a very strong quake. This was a 6.5 earthquake. This was a 6.5 moderate earthquake. Okay, this 6.5 moderate earthquake happened at 1:48 a.m. this morning Eastern Time. We've had two very strong sixes here. This was a 6.5 here. It's already registered many aftershocks. USGS only has 3 aftershocks here. This has a 4.8 here. This is a 5.1 large quake. This is another 5.0 quake. There are other earthquakes here as well. USGS never is honest about the shock waves or even the aftershocks of these quakes. Let me go and check with the EMSC really quick here. I forgot to check with the EMSC earlier, but I'm doing that right now as we speak. I'm going to show you the findings of this quake here. Okay. Okay. I'm going to bring up the webcam here to show you exactly what happened here. Okay. USGS shows 3 aftershocks. Guess what? I want to show you this. This is very typical of what we see with these earthquakes. Look at all the aftershocks here. There are 20 aftershocks here, guys. 20 aftershocks. USGS shows 3. What a joke. What a cotton picking joke. There was the 6.5 earthquake. There was a 5.0 large quake. And then this other, which was a 5.0 quake as well. Okay. That earthquake had power. This earthquake had a lot of power. Now, the problem with that is this. Okay. Look where this earthquake is. Look where this earthquake is, guys. Again, this is in Papua, Indonesia. These people are very poor. The people who live in this region are very poor. Very poor. They don't have much money. Now, as you can see here, here's a river. There are small villages along this river because they use this river for irrigation for the crops and also to travel to other villages. These people suffered today. These people here in Papua, Indonesia suffered today. Very sad. Very sad. This was also a shallow quake, which made the very strong 6.5 shock waves hit these villages horribly, devastating these people. Now, there will be people that have been unalived. There will be people with injuries and complete and total destruction here. 6.5 earthquake has the capability of total destruction, especially in the populations such as are around here. So it's a very sad day here in Papua, Indonesia. USGS only shows 3 other quakes. There are 20 plus quakes here. 20 plus quakes. This quake offshore here is a 4.6 here, 120 kilometers west-northwest of Aveyah, Indonesia. Unreal. Very sad day here. Very sad day. Okay, let's back off here now. We go over here in the South Pacific. Okay, this is Fiji. 259 kilometers east of Dupage. This is a 4.3 moderate earthquake. It's also 567 kilometers deep. Now, we've referred back to the depth magnitude conversion chart that Rebecca the Explorer put together with a friend of hers who's occasionally on this program. But referring back to that, we add a 1.15 to the magnitude of this quake. This is a 4.3 quake, so we add a 1.15 to that magnitude. We come up with a 5.4 to a 5.5 magnitude quake, which means this 4.3 earthquake is a deep quake. This means this quake is going to propagate or birth a larger, shallower quake, much larger, shallower quake to be a 5.4 to 5.5 magnitude quake. That's a large quake. That's actually a very large quake, mid-range 5, which means people in this region need to be aware of it. This larger quake is going to happen within the next 3 to 10 days. The 4.5 to 5.5 earthquake is going to happen within the next 3 to 10 days. Okay, let's go south into the Kermadec Islands here. This is a 5.0 quake. This is also 49 kilometers deep. 49 kilometers deep. Okay, this is a deep, this is a shallow quake here. Now there are other earthquakes here as well, but again, USGS is not going to show them. They never do. They never show them whether they are in active operation at the USGS or not. Even though they are furloughed right now, nobody's showing earthquakes. They didn't show them before. There are 24 earthquakes here in Indonesia today. 24 earthquakes. There are 6 quakes on the South Island, and all the rest are on the North Island. Okay? With that said, let's move on here. Let's go to South America. Now, let's go south of South America here. We're now at the Antarctic Ridge. This morning, actually last night, we had a 6.3 magnitude quake here. 6.3 magnitude quake, and I believe it was a 6.5. I believe this quake was a 6.5. They downgraded it. Okay? This happened at 9:42 p.m. Eastern Time last night. This is over here on the Antarctic Ridge, as you can see. On the Antarctic Ridge here. Guys, as I have explained before, this quake will travel. This quake was a very, very, very shallow quake. It's going to travel. Look at this earthquake fault leading up to South America here. Going up directly into South America, but I don't think it's going to go north. It's going to go south, and it's also going to go east over here. It's going to go east over here in the South Pacific, or South Atlantic, I'm sorry. It's going to go east in the South Atlantic. Then it will climb up here in the South Atlantic. It will climb into the South Atlantic here. That's a bad thing. As we already know, the Mid-Atlantic fault is expanding. So we're going to see earthquakes here, probably over here on the east side of South America. We're definitely going to see them over here going up into the North Atlantic here. We're going to see more earthquakes here in the Mid-Atlantic and possibly even more earthquakes over here on the Eastern Continental Divide of the United States of America and Canada. Okay, what I'm saying now, during the next 6 to 10 days here, as that 6.3 earthquake here that I believe was really a 6.5, I believe that what we're going to find is this earthquake makes its way along the Mid-Atlantic fault here and goes up into the North Atlantic. Be aware. Be very aware. Because as this very strong earthquake goes, okay, I do not think it will lose a lot of strength as it moves north. I believe that this earthquake is going to travel north here along the Mid-Atlantic, and it will be causing earthquakes, good-sized, large earthquakes over here on the East Coast of North America. Bat down the hatches, guys. You folks that live here along the East Coast, and me included, as I've told you before, this is going to cause havoc. This earthquake has a potential causing havoc. What's going to happen? As that fault moves north, that earthquake, actually not the fault, but the earthquake moves north, the seismic energy, it's going to cause more of the mid-Atlantic fault to expand, putting additional pressure over on Africa and Europe, but also all kinds of pressure over here on the North American continent. Yes, we've been having 3.5 and 4.0 earthquakes here in North Carolina and Virginia, and even points north. Those earthquakes are going to get larger. These earthquakes, I believe, could go larger. I want people to be very aware of it. I'm putting out the earthquake warning now. Be prepared, because as that 6.5 earthquake moves north here, it's going to cause havoc from out here in the Atlantic Ocean. We're going to see a seismic increase in earthquakes, larger and larger earthquakes here. USGS hardly ever shows any earthquakes here along the East Coast. We are going to see them, and I will show them to you as they happen. Okay, I pledge to you, I will show those earthquakes to you when they happen. I'll be keeping a very close watch here this weekend because these earthquakes could start down here in the South Atlantic Ocean. These earthquakes could start here in the South Atlantic Ocean. If we see that here, we'll tell you about it. We'll definitely tell you about it, especially as that seismic energy moves north here into the North Atlantic. Everybody over in Africa, Europe, and North America must be put on watch now for a much larger earthquake here, much larger than they've seen before. Does anybody have any questions about that? Now, I'm going to show you earthquakes in California, Southern California today. We have a lot of earthquakes to talk about. When I show you the seismograms from these quakes, beware. Beware right now. You will see the seismic energy from this earthquake down here in the area of the Antarctic Ridge. We will show you those seismograms and we'll detail out when we see the earthquake here in the Antarctic. We'll show you the energy as it appears on the seismograms. Okay? That's going to happen. Definitely going to happen. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? I want to welcome everybody to the show today. My dear friend Trish Killian and her husband Rich are here. Renee Steffi's here. Demon Catman from the east of England. Welcome, Dean. Appreciate you being here. Donna Howard's here. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Joe Shinbaugh is here. Thank you for being here, Joe. God bless you. Let's see. Judy Olson's here. Sharon Bolam's here, who is Sleeping Volcanoes here. Thank you very much for being here, Sharon. God bless you too. Sharon has had some health issues, so I greatly appreciate her being here. I want to also thank her for her work over on the Facebook Messenger thread that's called Quakes and Volcanoes. She posts almost all the earthquakes and the volcanic eruptions all around the world on the Facebook Messenger thread called Quakes and Volcanoes. If you have a messenger link on Facebook Messenger, look up Quakes and Volcanoes. We'll gladly accept you on that thread. Okay. Carl Smith is here. Welcome, Carl. Appreciate you being here. Arnold Schmidt is here. Thank you for being here, Arnold. God bless you. Arlen says the satellites they launched 1 month ago are now making final alignments in their orbits. And they're slow tuning those satellites, and they will slowly replace old satellites that have been in orbit for the last 10, 20 years. That's why they launched the new satellites. HHGF35C is here. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Rich Quake is here. Rich Quake is from the east part of Canada. Appreciate you being here, Rich. God bless you. Guys, he also has his own YouTube channel. If you don't know who he is, go to Rich Quake here on YouTube and check out his YouTube channel. Show him some love and subscribe to his channel as well. Let's see. Sharon's also got a sleeping volcano up here in the chat as well. Thank you. Again, my dear friend Donna Howard is there. I call her my cousin because I have Howards in my family from my mother's side of the family. Donna, I affectionately call you my cousin. You probably are. Appreciate you here. I'm just checking other people that might be here in the chat. I encourage everybody that's watching or listening to this program, please join us here in the chat. We'd like to hear from you. Also, friends, while we're here, while I've got your attention here, Charles Helm is here. Thank you for being here, Charles. God bless you to be here. Now, those of you that are watching our channel, if you are here watching or listening to our channel or even participating in the chat, please give us a big thumbs up if you enjoy what we're doing here on this channel. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please join us here as a subscriber. Be advised, again, YouTube has been unsubscribing people from our channel. If you are a member, check and make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed here, please subscribe to our channel. When you subscribe, right next to the subscription button, there's a little bell icon. Click on that little bell icon. When you click on that, there'll be a drop-down menu of 3 items come up. Click on the word ALL, all. That should get you notified when we come on the air. We usually come on the air weekdays, Monday through Friday, from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Occasionally, it's a little bit later than that. Today, we're between 4 and 5 o'clock exactly. Okay? We try to be closer to 4 o'clock, but not often can we do that. But we are here between 4 and 5 o'clock, so you can join us here on the program. Presently, it shows 49 people watching our program, but I'm sure there's a lot more than that because YouTube is not even paying attention to reality. They're not giving us a benefit of doubt who's here. Okay? In the past, before, like I want to see even 4 or 5 weeks ago, we're having as many 600 to 1,000 people every show. Now we're lucky if YouTube even shows 300. Really, it's truth. YouTube has been unsubscribing people and they've been shadow banning our channel for whatever reason. I'm doing my best for all of you. I'm doing my best to make sure you want to be here. I'm doing my best to show you the information you want to see. Okay. Now, if there is something we're doing wrong or something else you'd like us to talk about, please put that over here in the chat or send us a comment. Comment below this video today after we get off. Send us a comment or send me an email. If you have comments, suggestions, or even complaints of our program, send them over to my email. That information is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Our email address is rltnspdema@gmail.com. rltnspdema@gmail.com. Also, folks, at the bottom of this show today, we also have our mailing address here. We have our PayPal address that's floating across the bottom of the screen as well. If you want to help support this program, please do. We need your help to keep this program on the air. Okay? We just got through paying just a week ago, a $253 bill for internet bandwidth. $253 for bandwidth. It takes money to broadcast this program. We'd appreciate your support on keeping this program on the air. We really do. That would mean the world of difference to us. Okay? I want to thank those people who have made donations to our program. We definitely appreciate that. But we need to keep those donations coming in because we want to keep this program on the air to give you the information you need to see. That's my biggest thing here. I want to keep this program on the air for as long as possible because you guys want to see it, and I believe the public has a right to see this information. I believe the public has a right to see this information. Now, over here in the United States, you see earthquakes over here in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has earthquakes because they have fracking quakes. Oklahoma has earthquakes here because they have 586,000 drill points. Drill points. Where men have drilled into the earth here to obtain oil and gas from the earth. That when the seismic energy comes from the West Coast, comes over here, hits those man-made earthquake faults, those drill points, those holes in the ground. It fractures the rock in those drill points, causing earthquakes, such as this one here in Oklahoma today. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake near Ames, Oklahoma. Ames, Oklahoma. We haven't been here to Ames, Oklahoma to take a look at what's here, but let's take a look at what's here for kicks and giggles. Okay, look at here. We even have drill points here near Ames, Oklahoma. Every one of these rectangles or squares here is oil and gas drill points. They have 586,000 pumps and jacks here in Oklahoma. If we have an earthquake here in Oklahoma or anywhere else, within 6 to 10 miles of a drill point, that would constitute an oil and gas quake, as this does today. Okay? This is an oil and gas earthquake, a 2.1 minor earthquake today. No, I don't believe anybody felt this earthquake. Usually you can't feel an earthquake unless it's 3.0 or larger. This was a 2.1. Okay? We also have some other tremors out here as well. For example, this one. This is a 0.8 microquake near Minco, Oklahoma. We visited Minco, Oklahoma many times before. This is an oil field. This is an oil and gas oil field, as you can see. You can see squares and rectangles all over this map here. Oil and gas pumping operations here. Literally everywhere. Look at this. You can actually see one of the pumps actually several of the pumps and jacks here. They're literally everywhere. They're all over, guys. They're literally everywhere. Okay. Let's go further south over this one here. Okay. This is a 1.1 tremor. Blanchard, Oklahoma. We went over here to Blanchard the other day to show you what's going on. And yes, we have earthquakes here because we have oil and gas pumping operations here as well. Okay. We have an oil and gas pumping operation up here. We've got several oil and gas pumping operations down here. That's oil and gas right there. And here you see barrels here, or not barrels, but oil or gas, what do they call them? Storage tanks here. Okay. Oil and gas operations going on all over Oklahoma. Literally. All over Oklahoma. These happen every day. One more down here to the south here. This is Aveyah, Oklahoma. They call this a quarry blast, in fact. Let's take a look at it. Okay, this is not a quarry blast. The quarries are far enough away, this is not a quarry blast. Okay, I believe what we have here is another oil field here. Yeah, oil fields here, guys. Anywhere where you see a rectangle or square area here is an oil field where they either had presently, or they had pumps and jacks on the ground. But that doesn't mean we're not going to have earthquakes. Even though they may have removed the pump or jack off the property, that oil field is still active. The hole in the ground is still there, which means seismic energy can come off the west coast over here, find that hole, and fracture the rock inside the hole, causing earth movement. That's what happens. This is not a quarry blast. This is a 1.0 tremor here near Aveyah, Oklahoma. Okay? Here in Texas, these are oil and gas quakes here. Texas is a huge oil field. If you think 586,000 pumps and jacks in Oklahoma is big, I have no clue how many pumps and jacks are here in Texas, literally everywhere. Yes, we're having earthquakes here, anywhere from 3.5 earthquakes on down to 1.0 and even microquakes, all over Texas. Again, I'm sorry. Yes, I have problems with YouTube, but USGS does not show everything. They never do. They never, ever do. Southwestern Texas especially. We didn't used to see pumps and jacks, or actually we always saw pumps and jacks here in southwestern Texas, but here in southwestern Texas, we almost never saw earthquakes until about 3 years ago. That's when they started. And ever since then, there have been earthquakes all over. This earthquake right here is near Balmoria, Texas. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake. Just to the northwest here, this is another 2.0. Earthquakes all over this area. Let's go up to the northeast here. This is Midland, Texas. This is a 1.6 tremor here. Over here. This is a 1.0 tremor here. This is Forson, Texas. Let's zoom in here. In this case, there's a pump and jack up here. Yep, this is an oil field, guys. Pumps and jacks everywhere here. Okay, over here we have another one here in Westbrook, Texas. We haven't seen a lot of earthquakes here in Westbrook, Texas, so let's go here and visit. Okay, look at this. This is 18 kilometers south of Westbrook, Texas. Interesting. Okay, this is also 8 kilometers deep, 4 miles deep. Interesting again. Okay, now I don't see anything. Well, actually, yes, there is. Right up here. There's an oil and gas drilling field right there. Anywhere within 6 to 10 miles from the quake, if there's a drilling point anywhere near 6 to 10 miles away, it's an oil and gas quake. In this case, there's a pumping operation there. There may be other pumping operations here. I've zoomed in close enough where we're going to see something, but I can't get any closer than we are right now. If I was on my device, I could show you almost within 10 yards of this quake. Okay, so we do have a pumping operation right here. This fits the parameters of this quake. Okay, Westbrook, Texas. Okay, now let's go further over here to California. Okay, earthquakes everywhere, guys. Can't avoid it. They're everywhere. California. Okay, now when I show you seismograms from the Imperial Valley, this is the Imperial Valley right here. To the northeast side of the Salton Sea, that is North Shore Salton Sea. We have an earthquake here. Okay, this shows to be a 1.1 tremor here. This is 8 kilometers northeast of the North Shore Salton Sea. USGS has this as northwest. North Shore Salton Sea is right here, right there. So this earthquake being north-northeast doesn't fit with where the USGS says this earthquake is. Again, USGS is wrong. They're almost always wrong. This is the 1.1 tremor here, North Shore Salton Sea, and the seismogram is going to show you even more. Okay, North Shore Salton Sea here. Down here on the east side of the Salton Sea, I'm going to show you a seismogram from here at Bombay Beach. Bombay Beach. This seismogram is going to show you probably 10 3.0 and larger quakes here. This happens every day, literally every day. USGS shows nothing here. Bombay Beach. This is where the San Andreas Fault goes underneath the Salton Sea here. Other than that, it comes down the east side of the Salton Sea from Los Angeles. Okay, comes down the east side of the Salton Sea from East LA over here. Comes down the east side of the Salton Sea, goes underneath the Salton Sea here. Then it comes out from underneath the Salton Sea right here, Calipatria, California. I'm going to show you another seismogram from Calipatria. There are usually anywhere from 75 to 150 earthquakes here at Calipatria today. Yeah, today. 75 to 150 earthquakes right here, every day. Every day. Okay? Now, we used to have a seismograph over here in Westmoreland. This small town here is called Westmoreland. We have friends here. Okay? One woman that's been friends of ours for a long time passed away about a year and a half ago. I believe her husband is still active watching this program. At least I hope he is. They lived here in Westmoreland. Up until recently, we had a seismograph here, was operational here in Westmoreland, and USPS and Caltech shut it down. That does not mean we're not having earthquakes here. They're just not showing any. They're not showing any. Excuse me. Anyway, we go south here. Okay? I want to go south right here. This is the town of Imperial. When I used to live in San Diego, I used to visit Imperial very often. I had friends here. I believe they're still here. This town was maybe 2,000 people. Now it's probably 5 to 10,000 people strong. There is a seismograph here. I'm going to show you at least 1 to 5 3.0 earthquakes happen here in the town of Imperial today. Earthquakes happen here. Always. Always. Okay? Now, further south of that is a town called El Centro. Good old El Centro right here. This used to be a town of 10 to 15,000 people. Now it's a town of probably 20 to 25,000 people. This city is big now. By any stretch of the imagination, this town is a large city. Okay? El Centro. There is a seismograph here in El Centro. This seismograph is showing us 10 3.0 earthquakes here. We've had as many as 30 3.0 earthquakes and many more a day. 30 3.0 earthquakes a day. Now we have 10 here that I'm going to show you. We may have even more since I pulled the seismogram from El Centro. One of our own family members, Juanito, lives here in El Centro. He's told us here in the chat when he's been here that he and his family felt these quakes. 3.0 larger quakes can be felt. And they've been having 3.0 and larger quakes here in El Centro. Okay? Now, I want to go over here just to the west here. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm having problems with my sinuses so bad. But out here to the west here is a place called El Centro Naval Air Station. The Navy has F-15s, F-16s, F-18 fighter jets that base here in El Centro. I've seen the fighter jets. I've actually conducted accident investigation classes for their military police operations here. That way they can testify in local court cases and in military court cases as well. They can testify as to what happened at the accident scene. They also can testify as to the damage and what happened at the accident. I taught them that information when I was out here. I taught classes here at Naval Air Station for the MPs here. They're great people. There are a lot of other military people over here in El Centro as well. Okay, great people here. Okay, that's El Centro. That's in the Imperial Valley here. Also over here in the Imperial Valley to the east is a town called Holtville here. Holtville. Now they have a place here that's almost like a museum. Okay, it's called the Salton Sea Desert Research Station. Here at the research station here in Holtville, they have another seismograph here. Today we are going to show you a seismograph here, or seismograph that has earthquakes that have happened here in Holtville. The seismograph is going to show you earthquakes happen here in Holtville. Unreal. They happen here every day. It's amazing to me that USGS almost never shows these earthquakes. They happen every day on a daily basis. It's not once in a while. It's not once a month. It's multiple times a day. Yet they never show them. Never ever show them. Now I'm going to show you earthquakes up here in Los Angeles as well. Can I show you that earthquake over here at the North Shore of Salton Sea? We have an earthquake right here. Okay, La Quinta. This is just northeast of San Diego County. Okay, here, the Anza Gap, the Anza Borrego Desert State Park, northeast San Diego County. Down here, Borrego Springs. This is a 0.6 microquake, the Anza Borrego Desert State Park. This is a 0.7 microquake here in Anza Borrego Desert State Park. San Diego County. Actually, this here is still down in the Imperial Valley near Ocotillo Wells. This is the 1.0 tremor. This is a 2.5 minor earthquake here. 2.5 minor earthquake here and 1.0 tremor here. Ocotillo Wells, just on the west side of the Salton Sea. They say this is southeast of Ocotillo Wells. It's in Ocotillo Wells here. Going over here, okay? They say this is 23 kilometers southwest of Ocotillo Wells. This is at the top of the Chocolate Mountains here. This is at the very top of the Chocolate Mountains, possibly even in San Diego County. This is 1.4 tremor here. Okay? This is a 0.7 microquake here. Over here, Julian, California. This is 4 miles northwest of Julian, California in San Diego County, eastern San Diego County. Now, if you wonder where Julian is or why Julian's important, Julian is an old frontier town. Yes, they have a small museum here in Julian, but more importantly, it's grown. They have restaurants here. They have knick-knack shops here. They have bed and breakfast here. The restaurants serve hot apple pie from the apple orchards here in Julian. This is a great place to go even this weekend. Okay, go up here to Julian. Tell them I said to say hello. I told you to go up there and have a piece of apple pie at one of the restaurants. Not just that, you can have hot apple cider here as well. It's a great place. Okay, go walking around Julian. You'll find out a lot of wonderful things here in Julian. I used to love going here to Julian myself. Okay, Julian ought to pay me for that commercial. Yeah, they ought to pay me. Let's go up here further north. This is Aguanga, California. This is actually Fallbrook, California here. This is the 1.3 tremor here up here in Fallbrook. Going up here to the north. Anza Gap here, Anza Borrego Desert State Park. We go further north up here. Winchester, California. Now, this is just barely north of San Diego County. If you cross out of San Diego County, you come up here to Temecula, Winchester, and Elsinore. Okay, this is a 1.0 tremor here in Elsinore, California. This is also 11 kilometers deep, 5 miles deep. 6 miles deep. Okay? Further north here, they're telling me this is in Moreno Valley, Orange County, 0.8 microquake. Further north here, also Moreno Valley, 1.5 miles east of Moreno Valley, this is 1.4 tremor. Further north here to the east, also 7 kilometers, nearly 4 miles northeast of Moreno Valley. This is a 1.0 tremor. North here, Redlands. Redlands, guys, what does that tell us? It is the San Andreas Fault. San Andreas Fault, it's right there. Over here on the other end of the fault, right here. Right up here. This is Banning. This is a 2.0 earthquake. Further out here to the northeast, on the eastern side of the San Andreas Fault, this is the Morongo Valley here, a 0.7 microquake. Further northwest here is Bear Lake. Bear Lake, guys. Guess what? This whole area here is full of earthquakes. They're only showing us a handful of them. This is a 1.4 tremor here. Up here further north here, guess what? This is a 2.4 earthquake at Bear City, California. 2.4 earthquake here. Here's a brand new one. They say this is a quarry blast. This is 11 kilometers northwest of Bear Lake City. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at where this earthquake is. They say this is a quarry blast. But guess what? This is far enough away from the quarry, it's not a quarry blast. This is a 1.4 tremor here. 1.4 tremor. Now, Demon Catman that's here, I want to give him some heads up here. He sent me a meme that shows a spontaneous combustion carnivorous and exploding tree. Exploding tree. And guess what? If they had trees here, which they might, this could be a spontaneous combustion carnivorous, an exploding tree. Now, yes, I laugh at that. But I also laugh at the USGS when they say there's a quarry blast and it's nowhere near a quarry. This is a 1.4 tremor out here. This is northwest of Big Bear City, out in the desert. This is out in the desert in the eastern foothills of the mountains here. 1.4 quarry blast my foot. This is a tremor out here. Demon Catman, thanks for this meme. I appreciate it. Demon Catman is a very dear friend of mine. I appreciate him very much. He started watching this program, then I made him a mod, and he's been here a lot. Yes, he's taken a little bit of absence recently. I don't know whether he's had some health issues or not, but he has had some health issues. But we really appreciate Dean being here. Dean, you're awesome, brother. God bless you. God bless you. Now, guys, yes, we're having earthquakes here. That's a fact. They happen here all the time. Now, USGS does not show us all the earthquakes either. They never do. The earthquakes I'm going to show you here have happened within the last 24 hours. This was Big Bear Lake. I show you, this is a 1.4 tremor here. Further out here to the west, Redlands, I show you this earthquake. This earthquake north of there is Colton, California. This is a 0.8 microquake in Colton, California, Los Angeles. Los Angeles, guys. The LA basin here. Further out here to the west, this is Fontana. Now I'm going to show you a diagram here in Fontana. This shows there is a 1.4 tremor here in Fontana. There are a ton of tremors here in Fontana. It's not just one, there are tons of them. I would dare say there's probably 40 or more tremors here in Fontana. But I'm also going to show you some 3.0 earthquakes here in Fontana. Fontana is just miles from the San Andreas Fault. It's miles from the San Andreas Fault. It's actually northeast of the San Jacinto Fault. But we're having earthquakes here in Fontana. That tells me there are more earthquakes here in this area than they're talking about. They never show us the exact meaning of what's happening here. They never do. But for them to show us a 1.4 tremor here, it's a lot more than that. Okay? I'm also going to show you a seismogram from Mira Loma. They're going to show you minimal earthquakes in Mira Loma on the seismogram. We showed you the other day when we showed you earthquakes here in Los Angeles, we showed you earthquakes in Loma Linda. Loma Linda is a town just north and east of Mira Loma. They're having earthquakes in Mira Loma and also Loma Linda, where the medical center is. Further here to the west, Anaheim, California. Interesting. I'm going to show you a seismogram from Anaheim. Guess what? We have earthquakes and we have tremors. A ton of earthquakes and tremors here in Anaheim. All over the place. Okay? Let's go over here to Long Beach. Good old Long Beach right here. There's Long Beach. Guess what? I'm going to show you an earthquake with a ton of 3.0 earthquakes here in Long Beach today. Small and moderate earthquakes all over Long Beach. Okay? Unreal. Yet they're not shown here on the earthquake map. None. None. Over in Los Angeles here. Here in Los Angeles, they're showing us a 1.7 tremor. It's interesting to know. It's interesting to know that the seismogram from downtown Los Angeles doesn't show anything going on. Absolutely nothing going on. Doesn't show minor earthquakes, doesn't show minor tremors, doesn't show microquakes as well. It's interesting how they will lie about it. The United States Geological Survey partners with Caltech Institute of Technology to show us these quakes, but they're not doing it. They don't want to admit what's actually going on. Okay? They don't want to admit it, but there are earthquakes. Over here, east of Santa Barbara here, Fillmore, California, this is a 1.2 tremor here. Up here to the north, on the San Andreas Fault. Grapevine, California. Fascinating. This is a 1.2 tremor here in Grapevine. There are all kinds of earthquakes in this area. They're just not telling us about it. Off the coast here. I'm coming over here and I'm going to show you right off the bat earthquakes over here on this island. Yeah. I'm going to show you earthquakes on this island. Channel Island, guys. Channel Island. So guys, buckle up. Get your favorite beverage, get your favorite sandwich or treat or even an appetizer before dinner. Sit down and watch what I have to show you. This is going to blow your mind. It's interesting how we went from 53 people watching down to 30, 39, 40 now. I hope we get even more. I have a lot of things to show you guys. I think it's very important. I think it's very, very important. I wouldn't even show them to you. Right here. Okay? This is Channel Island right here. Look what we've got here, guys. Look what we have here. We have all kinds of tremors. We also have at least two 2.0 earthquakes here. Two 2.0 earthquakes. Most of these are all tremors. Look over here last night. See all these wiggly lines here with the styluses all over the place? Guess what that is? This is a 6.3 earthquake over in the Antarctic Ridge. That's what this is. This is a 6.3 earthquake on the Antarctic Ridge last night. Okay, this morning. Look at this morning. 1:45 this morning on the left-hand side of the green line. That's a 1.2, 1.3 tremor. After 2:15 on the red line here. 2:15 on the red line, we're seeing some tremors. We're also seeing some 2.0 earthquakes. Then after 4:30 here, just right before 4:33 here, another 2.0 earthquake, minor earthquake. Over here on the right, we have a 1.5 tremor here. That would be 4:44 a.m. this morning. 1.5 tremor. That is Channel Island. Let's go out to Bakersfield in the desert. Look here in Bakersfield. Look at all these tremors here. Now, guys, in the past, all we had were tiny tremors in Bakersfield. The tremors are actually got larger. Not just 1.2 tremors. Now we're having 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 tremors here. There's been an actual increase in seismic energy here in Bakersfield. The seismograph belongs to the University of California, Bakersfield. That's where we're getting this information from. University of California, Bakersfield. Okay. Next, I want to take you out into Lancaster, California, on the San Andreas Fault. Look at this, guys. Good old Lancaster. They have the seismograph at Fox Airport, Lancaster. There's also an Air Force base out here. Okay, look what's happening here. I believe what we had here are all tremors except for one. Down here near the bottom right of this seismograph here on this red line. This red line here is 1,500 hours on the left-hand side, 15 hours on the left-hand side on the right, on the left-hand side. That is 3:15 this afternoon. Over here, this is 3:13 p.m. this afternoon. Okay, more tremors. However, before that, 2:11 p.m. on the black line here. That is a 1.6, 1.7 tremor. Lancaster is having earthquakes on the San Andreas Fault. All over the San Andreas Fault, we're going to see this. We're going to see tremors, we're going to see minor earthquakes, and also moderate earthquakes here. And before I'm through here, you're going to see moderate earthquakes and small earthquakes all over. Let's go out to San Jacinto Fault. This is Hemet, California. There is a small college campus out here in Hemet called the San Jacinto campus. Here in Orange County in San Jacinto, or Hemet, California, we're seeing tremors. And yes, we may have had one minor earthquake here. One minor earthquake after 9, I want to say 9:12 p.m. last night. 9:12 p.m. last night. This would be a 2.7 earthquake. 2.7 earthquake here. And again, here, just below that, this is at 6.3 here over on the South Antarctic Ridge, south of South America, on the Antarctic Ridge. 6.3 earthquake again. Okay, you're going to see that 6.3 come up on many seismographs. If it's not showing, it's only because the USGS and Caltech deleted it. They deleted it. Sad. But this is what they do. Let's go out to Rancho Mirage, California, out in the desert. Look here. We're seeing an increase in seismic activity here. This is on the San Andreas Fault here in Rancho Mirage. We're also seeing that 6.3 earthquake last night. Okay. This is an increase in seismic activity here on the San Andreas Fault. Be advised. This is important information. I told you all that we're having an increase in seismic energy on the San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault is locked and loaded. An increase in seismic energy here only means that we're very close to having a major earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault. It's very likely it's going to happen soon. Very likely it's going to happen soon. This is very important information. Okay, that's Rancho Mirage. Now, I want to go back to Los Angeles, Baldwin Hills. Okay, in the past, I've shown you an aerial view, satellite view from space, the Baldwin Hills. This is just north of northwest of downtown LA. The Baldwin Hills used to be just that, a huge, huge forested area. Back in the 30s and 40s, 1930, 1940 time period, they bulldozed those trees, bulldozed those hills down. Now this area is an oil field. An oil field. I believe they have probably over 100 pumps and jacks all over the Baldwin Hills. The side graph here is showing you tremors here. Tremors. Last week, this side graph showed you not just tremors, but minor earthquakes here at the Baldwin Hills. Okay? In other words, this seismogram here is showing you reduced seismic energy here. Reduced from last week when it was minor earthquakes as well. Okay? When we have earthquakes occurring in Los Angeles, that's not good news for the oil field. When we have earthquakes in Los Angeles, and I'm talking small, moderate to large earthquakes in LA, it reduces the pressure of the oil coming into the pumps. It reduces the pressure of the oil coming into the pumps, and then the oil giants are not happy. And when they see a reduction of oil pressure, they don't like to tell USGS about it, because that will tell USGS and the public what's about to happen. Okay? There is a movie called The Great LA Earthquake. Cast of hundreds. Great actors. Great actors. Alec Baldwin's in the movie. Everybody tells me I look like Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin's in the movie. Great cast of actors and actresses. That earthquake that they showed there was close to what's going to happen. It's very close to what's going to happen. But it really shows the activity with USGS. They don't want to talk about what's going to happen. The politicians in the movie were exactly right. The actors showing the politicians were doing exactly what they were told. Not to talk about it. Not to let the people know about what's happening. Because they know darn well what's going to happen. If you have the opportunity the next few days during the weekend, go over to YouTube and look at the movie, The Great Los Angeles Earthquake. Cast of hundreds. Great movie. Great movie. About an hour and a half time period. Watch it. Number one, it's a lot of fun. Number two, it's a great movie. And number three, you'll get a lot of great information from that movie. Unreal. Carl SR 95 is here. Thank you for being here, Carl. Appreciate you here. Riley N's here. Harbor Girl's here. Thank you for being your Harbor Girl. We appreciate you all. Wilson's here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Again, this is the Baldwin Hills in Los Angeles oil and gas pumping operation here. Let's continue here. I want to show you now Chino, California, out to the east. Look at this. Again, you see the earthquake in Antarctica here. What you're seeing are tremors here. What we're seeing here in Chino is a lot reduced from what it was months ago. Months ago, we were not just seeing tremors, but we were seeing minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.5, 2.9 minor earthquakes. We're not seeing that here today. Seismic energy here in Chino is calmed down here. This is relatively calm compared to what we had here before. And yes, I have friends here in Chino, California. Friends here that I've known for 30, 40 years. A former U.S. Marine sergeant here. I met him when he was over at Camp Pendleton. Great man. Great man. I'm hoping he may be even watching this program today. A great man. He used to watch us all the time. That's Chino, California. Now I told you about Fontana. This is Fontana, California. Look at this. Okay. We have at least 3.0 earthquakes, maybe more. Maybe more. Up at the top of this happened at the top line here is 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon. We have tremors here, a lot of tremors. Then over on the right on the black line here, that is at least a 2.4, 2.5 earthquake, minor earthquake. We have many minor earthquakes here. Okay. Over on the left-hand side at 1800 at 6 p.m. last night. Minor earthquakes there. 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8 minor earthquakes. Below that on the blue line, we have tremors and minor earthquakes there. Going over to the right-hand side here, this is different. We have minor earthquakes there. Minor earthquakes started at approximately, let's see, it would have been 6:20 p.m. yesterday evening. Minor earthquakes, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes here. The sequence of earthquakes happened here for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes worth of earthquakes here, back to back. We showed you many times that's happened before in other places. Happens here as well. Then we come over here after 9:30. Approximately 9:33 yesterday evening. This is at least a 3.0, 3.3 earthquake. Fontana, California. This is not unusual to have these size earthquakes here. We've had many 3.0, 3.4, 3.5 earthquakes here in Fontana during the last 4 or 5 months. Happens all the time. Yes, we're seeing that earthquake in Antarctica here as well. We're seeing minor earthquakes and tremors here. We have small and minor earthquakes here, literally everywhere, all day long. Again, this seismogram here started at 5 p.m. yesterday and goes to 4 a.m. this morning. Earthquakes all over, literally. No joke. Earthquakes everywhere. Now, let's continue here in Los Angeles. That was Fontana. Let's go southwest over the coastline. Laguna Bell, California. The coastline, southwest Los Angeles. Laguna Bell. Here we're seeing tremors here. Yes, we've seen minor earthquakes here before, but we're still seeing a lot of tremors here. This is normal. This is completely normal for Laguna, but they have had minor earthquakes here before about 3 or 4 months ago. It happens. It's Los Angeles. Okay? Now, let's go over here to Long Beach. Look at Long Beach, guys. This happens every day. Yes, we have tremors here, but you can also see some minor earthquakes here as well. Yes, we've had 3.0 small quakes here in Long Beach before. It's normal. It's going to be really normal every day. Every day. But today you're seeing mostly tremors and minor earthquakes here. Now, here after 2200 hours on the left-hand side is 10 p.m. Right below that on the blue line is 10:30. At about 10:36 this last night, 10:36 last night, 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. Further to the right here, we have more 2.5, 2.7 earthquakes. Happens all the time. This is Long Beach, California. Tremors and minor earthquakes here today. Now, let's continue this talk here. Let's go out to Mira Loma and Loma Linda, California. Look what's happening here. For the most part, we have tremors and occasionally 2.0 earthquake. Up at the top on the black line, that is 5 p.m. last night. 5:02, 5:03 this morning, we had a 2.0 earthquake. Then you see a bunch of tremors here. We have another 2.0 at approximately 1:05 a.m. this morning on the black line. Then we come down here to the last black line over here on the right-hand side at the bottom of the seismometer. This is 4:10 this morning. 4:10 this morning, we have another 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Mira Loma. Like I said, Mira Loma is just southwest of Loma Linda. Okay, this is on the San Andreas, or not San Andreas, it's on the San Jacinto Fault. Earthquakes happening here. Now, let me remind you all what happens when the San Andreas pops. When the San Andreas pops, it's going to activate all the other faults that are adjacent to it, including the San Jacinto, the Newport Inglewood, and all the other faults all over Los Angeles Basin. They're all going to pop. Northridge, going to pop. Laguna, going to pop. Anaheim, going to pop. Long Beach, going to pop. Pardee, Moore Park, going to pop. All those cities are going to pop, guys. There's going to be a massive earthquake swarm all over Los Angeles. And I believe it's going to happen very soon. That's why I'm showing you this. Everybody watching this program needs to understand that the San Andreas Fault is about to go. It's about to go. The San Andreas Fault has been just gathering swarms and swarms of energy. The San Andreas Fault is locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. On the east side of Los Angeles, on the east side of San Diego, east side of, actually not the east side, but right down the center of the Imperial Valley. It's going to pop. The area is going to be devastated, guys. The area is going to be devastated. What I'm showing you now is just evidence of what's going to happen. This is just prior to what happens here. We have 46 people watching. We ought to have hundreds like we used to. Let's go over to, I just got through showing you Long Beach. Let's go over to Mira Loma. I showed you Mira Loma. Let's go over to Moore Park. Look what's happening here in Moore Park. This is just north of Los Angeles, guys. Up at the top right-hand corner. That's 5 p.m. last night on the right top left side. Just after 5:01 p.m. last night, guess what we had? 3.3 earthquake, guys. 3.3 earthquake, and it lasted over a minute. That 3.0 small earthquake happened, it lasted over a minute. People all over LA felt it. People all over Los Angeles felt it, 3.3 earthquake. Lasted over a minute. Then look at the seismic energy to the right. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes later. 10 minutes later, the secondary wave lasted 10 minutes. This shows us to be at least a 3.3. I believe this probably was a 4.0 moderate quake. I believe this quake in Moore Park, California was at least a 4.0 moderate earthquake. 4.0 moderate earthquake. USGS is not even showing this on the map. They're not showing it on the map. This should be all over the place. Now with 38 people watching. We had 46 minutes ago, now 38 people. This should be news, guys. This should be all over the place. We're showing you this. No other channel is showing you this. None. None. Then after 7:30, 7:15, I should say, over here on the right-hand side. Left is 7:15. Over here is 7:23. Actually, 7:26. 7:26, we have another 3.0 earthquake. Moore Park, California, just north of Los Angeles. They felt these earthquakes. They felt these earthquakes, guys. The place is popping. The place is popping. Now, early this morning, after 3 a.m., we had some more minor earthquakes. Okay? Just after 3:07, a 2.3 earthquake. Then after 3:13 this morning, another 2.4, 2.5 earthquake. This place is moving, guys. This place is moving. I want to put out a warning right now. We are about to see a major earthquake in Los Angeles area because of the San Andreas Fault. Look out. Mount Wilson. These are tremors at Mount Wilson. This is where the fire was last year. Mount Wilson, California, Los Angeles. Tremors here at Mount Wilson. Let's go over to Pardee, north of LA again. Tremors, all kinds of tremors here at Pardee. In the past, we've seen minor earthquakes here as well. But this is even more evidence of what's going on in Los Angeles. Hundreds, if not 1,000 tremors here. Almost every minute. Sometimes even closer than that. All over Pardee. Okay. I've shown you Laguna Niguel. I've shown you Moore Park, Wilson. Let's go over to Playa del Rey up to the northwest coast. Playa del Rey and Marina del Rey on the west side of Los Angeles. We have tremors. Tremors. We are also seeing that earthquake on the Antarctic Ridge south of South America. That's here as well. But tremors here at Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey here. That's normal. Pretty much always normal. Let's go over to Victorville. This is Victorville. This is where our dear friend Isaiah's granny lives. Great lady, great family. We're seeing tremors here. Victorville is where Isaiah's granny lives, but the San Jacinto Fault is right here as well. Or not San Jacinto, the San Andreas Fault is right here. San Andreas Fault is part of Victorville. Here we're seeing tremors here. Lots of tremors. That's normal. We've had more tremors here before, and we've even had some earthquakes here at Victorville before. But this is very normal for Victorville. It's locked and loaded here. Okay. North of Los Angeles again, Rinaldi. Tremors here, lots of tremors. Rio Hondo, lots of tremors here. Rio Hondo and Rinaldi, we usually have seen some minor earthquakes here, things that calm down here. Okay. Let's see here. There is a place, a small mountain range in Los Angeles. There is a place called Santiago Peak. Like Mount Wilson at Santiago Peak, there are a bunch of television, radio station repeaters there. There are radios and television repeaters here that take the signal from the television or radio station, amplify it, and put it out over the greater LA area. That's what's here, Santiago Peak. Here is normal. We have tremors and minor earthquakes here. Or I'm sorry, tremors and minor quakes. Tremors and minor microquakes here. This is Santiago Peak. Let's see here. Anaheim. Anaheim is where Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm is. Guess what? We have some tremors and we have some minor earthquakes here. You can see them very honestly, very openly here on the seismograph. Especially that tremor, not tremor, but the minor earthquake that happened here after 10:30 p.m. last night on the blue line. 10:31 p.m. last night, we had a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake right here, Anaheim, California. Now, this was just a minor earthquake, not to get too excited, but anything over 3.0, which we've had here in Anaheim, California, causes Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm to close down the rides and take assessment whether they're monorail, whether they're, for all intents and purposes, a great big huge huge ride there, such as Space Mountain such. They close down the rides, inspect the rails to make sure their cars stay on the rail. Okay? They have to do that if it's 3.0 or larger. We've had that happen here in Anaheim before. But here today, we have a 2.7, 2.6, 2.7 earthquake right here. We have other 2.0s here as well. Anaheim, California. And we had large earthquakes here before. I believe they're going to come here again. We're going to see that very soon. Let's go out to the University of San Diego, or excuse me, not University of San Diego. Let's go over to the University of Southern California, Los Angeles, right here. This is pretty much normal. These are minor tremors here. These are all minor tremors here. We do not have any microquakes here. These are all 1.0 tremors and larger. 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 tremors. Okay. I believe we've had 1.3 here after approximately 2:41 p.m. or 2:41 a.m. this morning. Down here at the bottom on the blue line after 4:37 a.m. this morning. 1.3, 1.5 tremor here. University of Southern California, LA. Okay. Let's go out to the volcano in Los Angeles. Those of you that have been monitoring this program for some time know we have a volcano over in eastern Los Angeles. This is the Walnut La Puente volcano. Walnut La Puente volcano. Look what we have here. Look what we have here. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes. 3.0 and large earthquakes. Let's take this first one over here on the left-hand side in the blue. This is after 5:30 this morning. Okay, the top is cut off because it went off the graph. The bottom is also cut off by the agency. They don't want us to know the actual seismicity of this quake. 4.0 earthquake. 4.0 earthquake in Walnut, La Puente. This is a volcano down beneath the surface. Walnut, the city of Walnut and the city of La Puente are sitting on the caldera. They're sitting on the table of the leftover volcanic rock when it cooled down after the volcano last erupted. Cities are sitting on top of it. There's residents here, there are businesses here, and there's also great big huge golf courses all over this area. Very expensive estate homes. This place is getting rocked by magma down beneath the surface. That's what's going on here. 4.0 earthquake here this morning, early this morning. 5:02, 5:03 this morning, 4.0 earthquake here. You can see it. We've also had over 3.0 earthquakes here, 3.0, 3.2, 3.3, 3.5 earthquakes. After 8 a.m. this morning, 8:45 this morning on the green line here in the center of the diagram. That is at least a 3.3, 3.4 earthquake. Look at the time element involved here. Look at the time element involved. It started just before 8:06 this morning. 8:06. 8:51 this morning. Just before 8:51 this morning. It lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. 3.0, 3.3, 3.5 earthquake. 6 minutes long. How would you like to experience ground moving that long? You're in your house, maybe even cooking breakfast this morning or getting ready to go to work. And the ground starts shaking. The ground moves. Things are rattling around in your kitchen. Things are rattling around over your house. You may even see your kitchen chairs or your high chairs, your stools moving across the floor. May even hear your dishes and plates and glasses rattling around your cupboards. That's what happened here. Several times. Not just once, but several times here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3.0 and larger earthquakes here. Down at the bottom here, after 1:30 this afternoon. What's this? This is at least a 3.5, 4.0 earthquake this afternoon. We had one after 5 a.m. this morning, another one after 1:30 this afternoon. This earthquake lasts just over 2 minutes. Just over 2 minutes. You can see they cut off the top and cut off the bottom, so we don't know the exact magnitude of this earthquake, but I surmise it's at least, this shows it to be over 3.3. This is a 3.5 to 4.0 earthquake here, just like earlier this morning. This is serious. This volcano is getting ready, guys. This volcano is getting ready. Just like we see down in the Imperial Valley. Just like we see in the Koza volcano to the northeast. The Geysers volcano. The Clear Lake volcano. It's going. It's moving. They are all moving. When I first started this broadcast 5.5 years ago, I showed you the evidence that the volcanoes around the world are recharging. They are recharging. This kind of energy here this morning at Walnut La Puente proves it. Proves it beyond the shadow of a doubt. It's happening. And you need to be aware of it. There are millions of people. I don't know really how many millions of people are living in LA anymore. I think it's probably 4 million people in LA. We are going to see devastating numbers here. USGS estimates there's going to be 1,500 to 1,800 people die as a result of the major earthquake that's going to happen. I think those are minimum numbers. I think it's going to be thousands of people killed when this earthquake hits. I believe it's going to happen. Everybody needs to be aware of what's happening, guys. This is serious. This is serious as a heart attack. Are you ready for what's happening, guys? I hope so. Now, I told you what I was going to show you over in the Imperial Valley. Let's go over to Calipatria on the southeast side of Salton Sea. Look what's happening here last night. The top of this diagram is showing us 2 p.m. last night. After 2 p.m. last night. Yes, we're seeing some tremors. We're also seeing some minor earthquakes here as well. 2.4, 2.5, and large earthquakes here. These are minor earthquakes and tremors. Then, just like they do all the time, after 7 p.m., they start shutting the seismic down. They turn the strength of the seismic down because they don't want anybody to see exactly what's going to happen between 7 or 8 o'clock at night and 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. You see all these earthquakes last night? Between 2 and 8 p.m. last night? Look at these earthquakes here. We're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 earthquakes here. 11 earthquakes here early this morning. Late night and early this morning. Then, starting at 5 a.m. this morning, look at all these earthquakes here. Starting at 5 a.m. this morning, we have probably 60 earthquakes here. At least 60 earthquakes here. This one I want to talk about here is after 8:45 this morning. There's several things we want to look at. Number one, the strength of the quakes. 2, the length of the quakes. 3, we want to see the magma here. Each individual horizontal line here. Each individual horizontal line is showing magma here. Okay, we have what they call magma pulse signals going on. The thicker the lines, the more magma coming into the volcano here. Okay, the Salton Butte volcano just north of here. There's magma here, guys. Magma down beneath the surface causing these quakes. But again, after this earthquake here, actually before it here, after 8:45 this morning, okay, this earthquake started shaking at approximately 8:04 or 8:49 a.m. this morning. 8:49 a.m. this morning. It continued for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. 7 minutes worth of shaking. The red lines here are generated by the computer to get the attention of the seismologist. The red lines here are generated by the computer, guys. The top of this seismogram was cut off. Or not seismogram. The top of this seismic signal has been cut off. The bottom's also been cut off. This is at least a 3.5, 4.0 earthquake here in the Imperial Valley. Calipatria, guys. Calipatria. This is this morning after 8:45. Look at all the other earthquakes also. Some of these earthquakes could be construed to be aftershocks. They probably are. Look at the size of these quakes as well. The agency, Caltech, and the USGS have cut the top and the bottom of these quake signals off. They don't want us to know the strength of these quakes. This is serious. We've gone from 40 people down to 25 now in the past 20 minutes. It's incredible the number of people that don't want to see this information. This is pertinent to everybody that lives in Southern California. We have 2 volcanoes in Southern California, one over on the eastern side of LA and one over here in the Imperial Valley, the Salton Butte volcano. Walnut, La Puente, and Salton Butte volcano. North of there, we have the Cozo volcanic field. Yeah. And north of there, we have Mammoth and Long Valley. Well, those volcanoes are moving a great deal. We have volcanoes that are recharging. We've even seen an eruption at Mammoth Mountain 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago in the wintertime. They had to close the Mammoth Mountain down to skiing because there was ash at the top of the mountain. Ash has erupted. Guys, volcanoes everywhere. And these earthquakes prove it. These earthquakes prove it. At least 75 earthquakes here in Calpatria today. We've had in the past upwards of 150 earthquakes here. Why? Why has that happened? Because, folks, look at this time period here. Between 8 p.m. last night and 4 o'clock this morning here. Hardly showing us anything. Because they turned down the sensitivity of the seismograph. Shut it down. So it wouldn't show information here. Now 30 people watching this program. That's insane. That's insane. This major information that nobody wants, apparently. Maybe I ought to stop coming on this program. Maybe I ought to stop doing these programs. Demon Catman says liquefaction guaranteed in California. You're right. Liquefaction guaranteed when the ground shakes. When the ground shakes, it's bringing up the water level to the top of the sand. Quicksand, guys. Liquefaction's quicksand. People are going to sink into the water, sink into the sand. Yeah, Joseph, you're right. Long shakes cause liquefaction. Fact. And this is just one place in the Imperial Valley. Let me show you some more. Let's go down to Imperial. The town of Imperial I showed you, just north of El Centro. Look at this. This morning, early this morning, just after 6:02 this morning, 3.0 earthquake. 3.0 earthquake back to back for about 5 or 10 seconds. Before that, we had tremors, we had minor earthquakes. And after that, we had tremors and minor earthquakes for 3 minutes, maybe 4. 4-minute secondary wave. That would have put this earthquake as a 3.5, actually. The secondary wave after the main shock wave, the primary wave. The secondary wave would put this earthquake as a 3.5 earthquake. This morning, the town of Imperial. We've had more earthquakes here in the town of Imperial before. After that, we had just tremors here, literally all the rest of the day. That does not mean we're not going to have more earthquakes here. This only means what we're showing you here today. Imperial always shakes. Imperial always shakes. Let's go over here to let's go over here to okay, it's not my, okay, here it is. This is El Centro. This is where Juanito and his family live. Look at this. I counted them earlier. There's at least 10 3.0 earthquakes here. At least 10 3.0 large earthquakes here in the town of El Centro. Yes, we had some minor earthquakes as well. We had some tremors as well. We've had more 3.0 earthquakes here before. We've had upwards of 20, 25 earthquakes a day. 20 to 25 3.0 large earthquakes a day. This is 10 here. This is mild compared to what we've had here. This is every day. This happens every day. Okay? Let's go over to Holtville. Look here at Holtville. Here we see the San Andreas Fault move here in the Imperial Valley. Look at all these earthquakes here. We have some tremors, we have some minor earthquakes, and a lot of microquakes here as well. This is busy for Holtville. This is a very busy sidegram here. Again, this happens every day, literally every day. Do we have any questions here? Any questions? Harbor Girl says her son is in San Francisco airport right now. He's always happy to get in the air. I agree. It's almost safer to be in the air. Sharon is talking about 4.7 earthquakes over in the Philippines. That's normal. That's pretty much normal. They just got through having major earthquakes in the Philippines. Multiple major earthquakes in the Philippines. They're going to continue to see major earthquakes for a long time. Long time. Do you guys have any questions about what I've shown you in regards to earthquakes here today, either around the world or over here in Southern California? Any questions? Sharon's also showing us a 5.0 earthquake over in the Bay of Bengal, over near the Indian Ocean. Large 5.0 earthquake in the Bay of Bengal, 40 kilometers west of North Andaman Island in the Indian Ocean. Okay, 23 minutes ago. Not surprising. We're also seeing earthquakes over in Greece. There was a 5.0 over in just northeast of Crete, Greece. 5.0 earthquake in northeast of Crete, Greece today, over in the Aegean Sea. There's a ton of tremors over there as well. Over in northeast Turkey, we have probably 100 tremors and earthquakes. We had a large 5.2 earthquake there just about 3 weeks ago. Now we're having aftershocks. Huge aftershock, guys. Huge number of aftershocks. It's insane. Any questions, guys? Any questions? No questions? Okay, guys, at the end of our programs, I have what we call a devotional here. I go to the scriptures and pull out scriptures to share with you. I've chosen to share a scripture from Acts again. This time, second chapter, I'm going to talk about the 17th verse here. Acts chapter 2, verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall see dreams, and shall dream dreams. Today we are in the last days. I've always been told, and I tell other people, when you read the scriptures, apply them to your own day, to your own time and family. Your sons will dream dreams. Your young men will dream dreams. Your sons shall see visions. All of us, guys, all of us. When you read the scriptures and look at them seriously. Look at them seriously. It's my feeling that you will see great things happen in your life. You'll be inspired. You'll be very inspired. Over in Acts chapter 20, verse 28. Take heed, therefore, unto yourselves, and to all the flock over the which the Holy Ghost hath made you overseers, to feed the church of God. The flock is not a flock of birds. This is a flock of people. Your families, your friends. Watch over your flock, which the Holy Ghost hath made you overseers, to feed the church of God, which he hath purchased with his own blood, Jesus Christ. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. For I know this, also of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them. Therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I cease not to warn every one, night and day, with tears. Christ offered himself to us. He preached night and day for years. He taught the gospel. He brought many people into the kingdom. Now you and I are tasked with that option. Help on our families, help on our neighbors and friends into the kingdom of God. I pray that all of us will follow that admonition that our Savior given us. Feed my sheep. Feed my lambs. Brothers and sisters, I love you. It's always a pleasure for me to get together with you. I ask you to take the messages we've given you to great heed, because these earthquakes are not stopping. They're getting larger. We are going to continue to see these earthquakes all over the world. Massive destruction all around the world and in our own land. In the past weeks, I've shown you earthquakes in England. I've shown you earthquakes all over Europe, Croatia, Romania, France, Switzerland, Denmark, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Finland, Spain. Today in Ethiopia, we had another 3.8 earthquake. Ethiopia. We know what's going on there. There's a possible continent split. A possible continent split from the north of Africa all the way south. Yeah. It's going to be a massive, massive undertaking for the Lord to divide the world. And he's doing it. We see political upheavals. We see political upheavals all over the place. What are we doing to make sure our families are aware of it? To make sure we're protecting our families. Why am I talking about this? Because tomorrow is Preparedness Friday. I would ask each of you to remember to be here tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock with Emergency Management Associates. Tell your friends and your neighbors. Advise the people you associate with on social media and also the people you work with. Tell them about our program. Yes, at the beginning of the program, we're going to be talking about earthquakes, or maybe some other things are going on. But then we're going to spend the majority of the program talking about emergency preparedness. Talking about emergency preparedness, we need to remember that. Because we have to prepare our families now for what's going to happen. And it's soon to happen. Lena Vilcano says her niece works at Disneyland. One of my best friends I used to go to school with worked in Disneyland. She now lives in Michigan. Her and her family. God bless them. May God bless each of you. Demon Catman has been here in the chat. I thank him and all the rest of our mods for being here. God bless each one of you. Demon Catman, thank you for being here and putting up information about us in this program. Thank you for that. Folks, again, please, if you kindly support us by giving us donation to our PayPal, we greatly appreciate it. Also, you can send us cards or letters to our mailing address, 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. You see our two PayPal locations scrolling across the bottom of your screen. You can send us donations there. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for being here, guys. We love and appreciate you a lot. If anything else happens tonight, we'll be back here on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, may God be with you. May God bless you and protect you and always be with you. May God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Take care, everyone. God bless. See you soon. Good night.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better, bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.